Okay, welcome back to Daily Driven Alpha. Just a bit of a project update. We've taken the 1600 motor and gearbox out of the Super that we were using as a test car for the engine, and we've got it sitting over there. We've got the 1750 motor that was in the car, got it back out, given it a bit of a freshen up, tidy up, and we'll get the flywheel, water pump, etc., distributor back on it. Just letting that dry in the sun after we've pressure blasted it. And now we're back into it with the project car. So as you can see, the engine and gearbox is out. That's the 1600. We did a compression test on it. For a car of its age, not too bad. Normally a rebuilt motor would have, from what I understand, around about 165, 175. Those numbers there aren't too bad for an engine that's got a bit of wear. But we are going to tear this down and look at the head and look at the bearings, etc., before we put it back into the car. So we'll do a bit of work on that motor, probably replace the rings while we're there, and do a bit of honing of the cylinders. So I'm cannibalising this 1750 Series 2 motor that we have spare, and that will help us rebuild the engine that goes into the Super. So for those who haven't caught any updates recently, we've run the new wiring harness, fuel and brake lines, mocked everything up, and everything seems to fit. We've had the steering box rebuilt. I've had that in and out several times. Just be wary, if you've got several steering boxes, measure them. Some from other vehicles are shorter, and when you get to this point of actually installing, you'll find that the internal shaft may be as much as 10 millimeters shorter than you're expecting. So make sure you keep the column with the right car. We had to do a little bit of swapping around to get that. That was our bad. Just throwing the heater box in there that we've rebuilt just for just to make sure that hoses and everything sit correctly. That'll come back out. I haven't stuck that in very well, and we sort of just run a few lights, used a couple of old rear lights just to run the wiring, make sure that everything's fitting okay. So wiring looms sitting there, but car itself is sort of in a holding pattern at the moment while we get the motor done, and then we'll start doing the interior, getting the trim in. We've got the headliner waiting. We'll put some foam, etc., in there, and we'll start prepping with sound deadening inside those panels there, all up through the car. You can see that we've just put a little bit of foam up in behind the heater box, just to make sure that we've got something there, and then we'll put some sound deadener all the way through. All the brakes are now in, rear calipers are in, and we've also got front calipers in. Had those refurbished locally, so we've got original ATE calipers for the 1600. A little bit more expensive than buying reproduction ones out of the UK, but we've got the original parts, and I think that's important. Their casting is a little bit better as well. I prefer them. And really, you don't need to go to the big brake, road track racing kits on these cars, if you're not racing. These brakes are adequate, more than adequate for these cars. They're very light, and the braking is excellent on them. So, if you want to spend the money, fine, but you don't have to. Doors are sitting waiting to be rebuilt. Bonnet needs a little bit of touch up along some of the edges, and where we've done some sanding, but other than that, we're pretty happy with that. So I guess that's where we're at the moment. A short update, and the mission for us is to get the engine sorted out and get the other motor back in the Super so we can use that as a driver. But project's coming along, happy with it, and just need a little bit more time. Hope your projects are going well. Like, subscribe, share this with others who are like-minded, and we'll put an update as soon as we've got something interesting to show you. Thank you for watching.